Okay, so before I start, yes, I'm a toy. In case you couldn't tell from the title, I am a toy, but I just don't give a fuck. So, if you're here to comment like, oh my god, you're such a fucking toy and shit, I don't care. If you're looking for a toy so bad, go to Toys R Us. Okay, so, a few days ago, I went to a family picnic, and on the way back, we went to Walmart. Now, when I went to go rack, I wasn't intending on it, but we just kind of stopped at Walmart, and I had like 5 minutes. We were getting one thing, so there wasn't much I could do, but I went over to the craft sections and I just kind of grabbed a few things, and it was my first time, and since I was with my family, I didn't want to take too much stuff, so I just took about 10 paint markers. So I just grabbed that and I kind of just put them in my purse. And I think that's the good thing about being a girl, is that you can just put stuff in your purse. But it wasn't just a purse, it was like a little bag that I keep all of my sketchbooks and my charcoal and my kneaded eraser and all that, because I like to draw, and so I kind of carry that around. So that was just really easy to put stuff in, because if somebody caught me, it's like, okay, she has paint markers in a art bag that's filled with art supplies. So that was kind of easy for me. I didn't want to grab too much stuff, because if I had got caught, it would have made it a lot harder with my family there, whereas if I were alone, I could easily run away. So but yeah, other than that, I would say the thing about racking is that I haven't done it ever before. When I was little, I used to steal a lot, but that was when I was 8 and I got over it. So yeah. Okay, so this is how I did it. So I walked into Walmart, I was with my family, normal stuff. I was wearing a shirt that said nerdy on it, with the periodic table. So obviously if you see that, there was nothing shady about me. I wasn't like wearing all black, I wasn't covering my face, I just looked like a normal person. So, this is my art bag. It has my art supply in it for when I travel around. So, this was around my shoulder like this, and when I walked into Walmart, I was listening to music. So, I had my headphone in like this, and my phone was just in my bag. It's as simple as that. So, I walked up to the craft section, and I started looking at the things I wanted. They didn't really have that much that I wanted. Everything was locked up, and so I just grabbed a whole bunch of paint markers. This isn't all of them, but this is just some of them, and I just grabbed them, and I looked at them, and I said like, oh, that's good. And so I walked away, and I started walking around the store, staying in like the narrow places so that the security couldn't really see me. Also, the thing is that you have to know where the cameras are without obviously looking around for them. So pretend there's a camera and it's up there, and there's a clothes rack right here. They will be able to see my face if the clothes rack comes up to here, but they will not be able to see my hands on this side. So it just makes it easier because they can't really see what I'm doing. So basically what I would do is I would stay in the narrow places that they wouldn't be able to see me. And not only that, but I don't know if this works for guys, but I was in like the lingerie, the bra section, and I was looking at that stuff. The thing about being there is that no worker is going to approach you and be like, oh, do you want some help? Do you need help finding something? They just kind of leave you alone, because that's weird. And nobody's really going to stare at you, because that's kind of, it's just something they don't do. They don't stare at you if you're looking at like a whole bunch of bras and shit. Unless they're creepy, then that's just weird. Then just, I don't know, punch them or something. So what I would do is I would bring out my phone. I would look at it, I would change the song, I would do something, and while I was doing it, I would hold it with both hands, so that when I would come away with my phone, I would just grab 2 markers and just put them in my bag with my phone. That way I still had markers in my hands, so if anybody noticed, they would not notice that there were 2 going missing. Because remember, I had a whole bunch, and I would just continuously do that. Every now and then, still walking around looking for something, and then at some point I found a blind spot where I was like, the cameras can't see me. So when I was behind that blind spot, I had about 4 markers left in my hand, and I just kind of put them in my bag. You know, like whatever. I did it kind of slightly. I was just kind of like whoosh, dropped them in, and I grabbed something next to me. That way, when I would come away, I would still have something in my hand. So if somebody were looking at the camera at the time, they wouldn't notice that I just disappeared and came back with absolutely nothing in my hands. That's kind of shady. So I grabbed like this packet of like panties beside me, and I just kind of held it in the same hand that I held those markers. If nobody was staring at you intently and counting the markers and keeping track of what's in your hands, if somebody was like staring at you intently on the cameras, they would have noticed that you just like whoosh, magic, it became a pack of panties. Like, how did you do that? But I can guarantee nobody's gonna stare at you doing that. Also, when I was behind the blind spot, I made sure nobody was around me, because places like Walmart, they hire securities that dress like normal customers so they can stalk you. So that's what I did. Also, I am very new to graffiti, so if you guys could just follow me on Instagram, subscribe to me, get in contact with me, I would really love to get some advice and get some help and just, you know, communicate with other people who would like to help me, because I am very new at this. And yeah, have a nice day, I guess.